But welcome back to my channel. I'm Charnel. In this video, I want to get into the books that I read in the month of May. So I think I'm just gonna jump right into it. I read a lot, but it was a lot of tandem reading. So I have the physical book, but I'll listen to the audiobook. And I was just listening to audiobooks. Like, I'm in an audiobook era or season, I guess, because I feel like I always say this, but I was just busy. But I'm like really busy right now because as of like 3 days ago, we got confirmation that we're moving within the same city that we live in. I'm so glad. Yay. I'm so happy. It's a bigger space. It's like a townhouse, like backyard. So I'm so excited, especially for my son. You know, these kids, they need to burn their energy and we need that space. So I'm excited, but y'all know that comes with packing. Y'all, I've been packing up my books. I'm just like, please don't get hurt in this journey. They're like my kids, because I'm like very serious about how I'm packing them. And yeah, so if y'all have any tips, like I've already gotten like on my Instagram, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram, same name as my YouTube, at Char Reads Things, all together. And yeah, I asked the question on there like, hey y'all, what tips do y'all have for moving, or packing your books? I have a lot of books, y'all know that. And yeah, so so I think I'm just gonna do like banker boxes, whatever like leftover suitcases we have. Yeah, but if there's anything else, y'all, any other tips y'all have, go ahead and comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe my videos and subscribe to my YouTube. Subscribe to my channel that you're watching right now. I am usually consistent. You can ask anybody who's been with me since I started in January. I'm usually consistent, but it's just a busy season. Oh, and then also stick around too, guys, because at my new house, I'm gonna have my own little book room. So, because it's a 2-bedroom plus den. So my husband already said that's my room. So I'm gonna have my own book room. So we're gonna have a new video space. You're all gonna see all my books in every video. Whereas right now you only see my little nightstand shelf. It's still cute though. And y'all, I think I only did one video in front of my real big bookshelf, which is in the living room. So it's in another room. So we're gonna all be together, and I'm so excited. I'm like so happy about y'all. I'm so happy. Okay, but that's enough for the updates. Since the last time I saw y'all, let's get into the books that I read in May. Also, you guys, sorry if you hear the fan in the background. Today's a really, really humid day. Really humid. So I need to have it on. I'm so sorry. I'll try to talk louder. Anyway, so I read I want to say 12 books or 13 books in May. But again, like I told y'all, most of them were audiobooks. So whatever I don't have physically in hand, I'll, as always, put it on the screen somewhere around my head, my big head. Okay, so let's jump into it. So I started May. It's a book that I started in at the end of April, but I finished it in May. Excuse me. And I started April 29th and I finished it like that first week of May. So it was an audiobook, and it's y'all know I'm in like a YA fantasy mood, but I don't know if this one's YA, but I know it's fantasy. So it's Daughters of the Nri, NRI, and it's by Rani K. Amayo. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, the picture, and that was pure audiobook. It was really good, but I would say it was just really slow in the beginning, and then like the real I don't know if I was trying to listen so hard. I'm like, am I missing the point? It was like the beginning was just really slow. I get it. It was like world building and giving the backstory, introducing the characters. I didn't even make the connection of what the connection was until like 75% in. But I just kept listening. Because it was a really good narrative. I don't know. I don't have the name up here. Maybe if I find it, I can put it on the screen somewhere. But the narrator, her voice, her cadence, like she was keeping me engaged in the story. So yeah. So I'm not gonna go through the synopsis. Y'all will see the picture. I don't want to send you a long video. I'll put the picture somewhere right here. It's somewhere. So you can look it up. But yeah, I rated that 3.5 stars out of 5. There is a part 2. The second book is already I think it's out, but I just haven't listened to it yet. It's not high on my priority list. And then the series is called The Return of the Earth Mother. Okay, so the next book that I read was Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. This was so sweet. This was just such a feel-good, just a feel-good love story. I would say it's a women's fiction story, but it's a love story too. It was a true romance women's fiction book. I loved this book. I loved it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I think I've read you guys the synopsis of this before, so I'm not going to read it again. Y'all, I'm sorry I'm being lazy. I'm really tired. Moving is hard. So every day I'm tired, boss. I'm tired, boss. Anyway, so Same Time Next Summer. Yes, read this if you and it's summer. I hate when it's June and people are like, "Oh, it's springtime." It's summer. We all know summer starts on June 21st, summer solstice. If it's consistently over 70 degrees, it's summer, you guys. Stop. Anyways, it's the perfect season for it. It gives you all the feels. You're looking for something happy, a feel good romance. It's second chance romance too. So I really highly recommend this one. It was so cute. It was so sweet. I loved it. Okay, so the next one I read was Black Candle Women by Diane Marie Brown. And this is it's a funny story with this one. I started reading this last year, like early last year, and I like DNF'd it. I still have the marker from when I'm sorry y'all, before I started doing really actively reading and I was just picking up books here and there, I was still folding the pages. I wasn't doing no bookmarks. So that's where I stopped. It was like early last year and I just stopped. I was like, this is boring. And I just bookmarked it and put it on my bookshelf, my big bookshelf, and never picked it back up. And I think I saw it on Spotify. I have Spotify Premium. So I saw it on the audiobook section of Spotify on my Spotify. And I was like, let me listen to it, let me see. And I pulled it back off my bookshelf and I was just tandem reading and just listening to the audiobook by itself. And I eventually put the physical book back down because I don't know why with this I just didn't I don't know, I just wasn't into it, just physically reading it. But the audiobook, again, like I said, I think it was the narrator. I think y'all are crooked. The narrator just kept me in. Okay, you guys are straight now. But yeah, so I recommend this. But personally, I recommend the audiobook. You see, listening to the audiobook, I rated it 4 stars. Whereas just trying to read it last year, got to chapter 8, and I DNF'd it. I did not finish. So yeah. And it's also goes to show sometimes DNFing means like I'm not done with you forever, but like at a later date you're gonna pick it back up. And thank God for audiobooks. Thank God for audiobooks, for real. And then the next one I'm gonna have to put on the screen too because it was just a pure audiobook. It was Part of Your World by our girl Abby Jimenez. It was so cute, of course. So cute. It is number. Don't let me get to lying because it's in that series. Is it the Your Truly series? I'll put it on the screen. You guys, you know I'm struggling right now. I'll put it on the screen because it goes Yours Truly, Part of Your World, and then Just for the Summer. No, I have it mixed up. I think Part of Your World is first. Yes, Part of Your World is first, and then Yours Truly. That's the red cover, and then the last one is Just for the Summer. So y'all, I think I told you in another video. When I first got into Abby Jimenez, I didn't realize that it was a series. So I read Yours Truly first, like off of Libby, like a couple months ago, maybe like February or something. It's in one of my videos, probably one of my recaps. Yeah, I read Yours Truly. I'm like, oh my God, and I loved it. Anxiety rep, mental health rep. Like I ate that book up. I loved it. And then I think I was like, oh, she has more books. And then that's when I realized, like on Goodreads or something, oh, this was a series. So, but when Just for the Summer just came out, I immediately read it on audiobook. I listened to it. And I was like, okay, let me get the original story. And I just started with the first one. But I liked how I did it. But I would say out of all three, my favorite is Yours Truly. Okay. Anyways, so I would say Yours Truly is, which is the second book in the series, is my favorite out of all three. Really closely followed by Just for the Summer, because Part of Your World was, I gave it 3 stars, whereas the other two I gave 4 and 4.5. No, I gave Just for the Summer. Oh yes, no, I gave them both 4.5 stars. I would say Part of Your World. It was good and it was cute, but I think it was certain tropes that get on my nerves that was in this one. And it's funny because I can't remember the main character's name, the girl or the guy, but I remember liking her in the other 2 books, but in this book I was just annoyed by her. Like, I don't know. So I pushed through, but I give it 3 stars. It was cute. It was good for what it is, but I have my favorite in the series. So, and I need to start read some out of the Abby Jimenez's other books, and I know because that's a different series. And I think they mentioned. It seems like those characters were mentioned in this series. So, I love the world building that Abby Jimenez has done with that. It's super cute. All right, so the next book that I read was probably, let me not say it yet. So The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. Y'all, I don't know what I was going through that day, but I finished this in one day. Yes, I gave it 5 stars. I finished this in one day. I don't know what it was, but I think maybe I was like, I don't know. Maybe I was sad that day. I don't know, but I was just like, I just need a feel-good book, and I got this like 2 years ago, and you see how beat up it is. I either got it from like a free little library or something secondhand, maybe off of thrift books, something. Y'all, this was so good. So good. If you are in the need of a feel-good fiction, like you're feeling sad, or you're just feeling blah or whatever, and you're looking for something, usually like with me, I used to just turn to shows. I mean, I still do. I turn to my nostalgia shows like Martin and Living Single and stuff, but I wasn't feeling like watching a show. I was like, let me pull up a book. This one, I ate it up. I ate it. I read it in one day. I haven't done that in years. I was in shock. I was like, am I done? Oh my god, it's so good. I have to read the synopsis for this. So a young woman supremely confident in her own shell. Meet Nina Hill. So the only child of a single mother, Nina has her life just as she wants it: a job in a bookstore, a kick-butt trivia team, and a cat named Phil. And she sometimes suspects there might be more to life than reading. She just shrugs and picks up a new book. I can relate. When the father Nina never knew existed suddenly dies, leaving behind innumerable sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews, Nina is horrified. They all live close by. They're all, or mostly all, excited to meet her. She will have to speak to strangers. And as if that wasn't enough, Tom, her trivia nemesis, has turned out to be cute, funny, and deeply interested in getting to know her. Does he not realize what a terrible idea that is? Nina considers her options. Completely change her name and appearance. Too drastic, plus she likes her hair. 2, flee to a deserted island. Hard pass. See, coffee. And 3, hide in a corner of her apartment and rock back and forth, already doing it. It is time for Nina to come out of her comfortable shell, but she is not convinced real life could ever live up to fiction. It is going to take a brand new family, a persistent suitor, and the combined effects of ice cream and trivia to make her turn her own fresh page. You guys, this was good. I think everyone, you need to read this. You need to, especially those days where you're just not, feeling good, or it's just like we need a pick me up. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If we need a pick me up, definitely read this. And then the next, Blood Justice, by Terry J. Benton Walker, and it's the follow-up to Blood Debts. So it's the second book in the series, and the series is just called Blood Debts, like the first book name. I gave this one 4 stars out of 5. Very on pace with when I read Blood Debts in January or February. This book, it was really good. It's a really good follow-up. I don't want to give a lot away, but it was really good. Like, it was really engaging, like, throughout the whole book. And this is another one I just remembered that I was doing tandem reading. So I was reading it, like the physical book. It was a library book, mind you. So I'll put the picture up because I already returned it to the library. So I was tandem reading with the audiobook and the physical book. So there's times I'm like, I feel like holding the book, and there was times I like I told y'all, I'm just busy, so I just had the audiobook playing. Either way, was really good. Really, really good. The narrators were good. So both twins had their own narrators. I don't know the names of the narrators, but I recommend that one. And I posted on my Instagram at Charlize Things that I posted a library haul, and the author Terry J. Benton Walker, he commented and shared it to the story, so that was really cool too. But yeah, so I recommend that book. Give it 4 stars. I recommend both of them. Just have a little binge. Read Blood Debts. That's already out, and then Blood Justice just came out, so I recommend it. And then the next one I read was When I Think of You by Maya Ariel. So this one, I gave it 3 stars, and I was shocked because this was like one of my most highly anticipated reads of the year. So this is my opinion. I've read books where the POV is only one of, like, I've read romance. I should say it's a romance. So I read romances where the POV is only in the girl's POV, the main female character, or the guy's POV, the main male character, and I bought into the love story, like, you know. But so this one was a sole POV. It was only in Kalia, which is the main female character. It was only in her POV, but I didn't feel the love from him. Like how she was narrating the story in the book, it felt very one-sided. Like she was all in. She was recalling all these feelings from college, the second chance romance. And I've told you guys, second chance romance is like my favorite trope. I think I told y'all that. My favorite romance trope, next to like friends to lovers, or yeah, friends to friends to lovers. Is that what it's called? So the second chance. So that's another reason why this was my highly anticipated read of the year, like new release. So So the guy's name is Danny. And it read to me, if anybody has read this, comment below if you agree or disagree, or if you read the book, what did you feel? Because to me, my feelings were so hurt throughout the whole book for Kalia. Because he just did not seem to care. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but he just didn't. There was no urgency from him, and like even how she described things, it is both characters to be like all in, or especially the guy, especially if the POV is gonna be from the girl's POV, because I'm telling you guys, I didn't like him. If you didn't get all that from what I just said, I didn't like him. I would have been totally fine if by the end she's like, I'm done with you, and I'm, and it was they broke up ending. Like, I would not have cared. Like, I would have been good, Kalia. You'll find somebody else who's madly in love with you. Let's talk about it, please. Somebody, even if you want to DM me on Instagram, because this book, it just didn't seem like I'm like, does he like her? Do you even like her? Like, like, you ask my husband, like, maybe because I'm words of affirmations and I need you to be like, I'm madly in love with you and da-da-da. I need to hear it. But like for Kalia, I didn't like him. I didn't, no. Anyways, so if you have read When I Think of You, please comment and let me know. Because I also have an anxious brain, so I overthink things. So am I doing too much with that review? And I posted on my Instagram too. So I wrote a long thing on my Instagram. Go look at it. But yeah, so just let me know. If is it just me? Am I the problem? I don't know. Because I was like, but I will say I love Maya Ariel's writing style. It's so easy to read. So I think this was her debut. Yes, it's her debut. So I'm excited for whatever other romance books or just books, whatever she writes in the future. I'm gonna definitely buy them, read them, all the things. But I think it was just Danny boy. Don't do my girl Kalia. Because I loved Kalia. Y'all are going to love Kalia. But anyways. Danny. Anyways. Okay. So the next book I read was a little novella. Because I think I was so pissed off from reading When I Think of You. I needed some hope. So on my Kindle, I'll put it up here. I read the writer's block of Friends to Lovers novella. Like I just said, I love a Friends to Lovers. So let me read something I know is going to give me something. So I read this one. It's by Mia Monique. I give it 5 stars. It's a novella, a quick read. I think it was like 80 pages, something like that. It was so good. It was so good. I loved it. 5 stars. Um, and yeah, I loved it. I'll put the picture up. And the next one that I read was Evil Eye. Finally, I read this. I've had this for so long, but I just haven't been in the mood. But I was in the mood to read it. It's by Etaf Rum, and I gave this 5 stars. I'm gonna just jump right in. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I'll read a quick little synopsis. So the acclaimed New York Times bestselling author of A Woman Is No Man, which I need to read that too, returns with a striking exploration of the world of a Palestinian American woman, the meaning of a fulfilling life, and the ways our unresolved past affects our present. So this one is, I would say trigger warnings. This deals with our main character. I mean, it says it on the long synopsis, but she's going through like mental health struggles, like, you know, depression, anxiety, things like that. And there is, I don't know if this is a trigger warning, but there is like, because obviously it's about a Palestinian woman and her family. So there's like mention of, you know, all of the, like, you know, like the struggles that the Palestinian people have went through, and it kind of brings it all into like a personal level, to where like it's manifesting in her, to where she's you know, she has depression. And it's like, obviously, just think about Black people of the diaspora. Like, I'm Caribbean, but I still have the same historical issues as Black Americans. You know, obviously all of our ancestors were enslaved. So like, when it's no surprise when a lot of Black women and a lot of Black men have mental health struggles with the anxiety and depression being the main ones. PTSD. We have there's little DNA tests that show like we have what is it? Is it generational PTSD or something like that? Don't quote me. I read a lot. Obviously, y'all know I read a lot, and I read a lot of studies and articles too. And yeah, so I wasn't surprised to read about this. I know it's fiction, but I wouldn't be surprised if Palestinian people have the same thing, where like, you know, struggles get embedded into your DNA and you pass it along to your offspring, who pass it along to theirs. So, you know, yeah, it was really good. If you're in the mood to you know, just read some literary fiction, contemporary fiction, just about like mother-daughter relationships, you know, how your culture impacts your relationships, you know, even like the struggles of a mother, because she has two young daughters. And yeah, I highly recommend this. I can picture this being like a movie or like a Hulu or Netflix series too. I hope it is. And I do need to read her other book, The Woman Is No Man. So I recommend Evil Eye for sure. All right, so the next one I read is kind of a follow-up to The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. I read Adult Assembly Required by the same author, Abby Waxman. And I was shocked. I was not into this. I think Nina Hill was like the perfect length. It seemed like this one, it seemed like Adult Assembly Required. There was like a chunk of the story before we get to the final act where it didn't need to be in there. To me, this is my opinion. So it just dragged on. Like, there's a whole section. I feel like this didn't need to be in there. It was just dragging and dragging and dragging. It was just more things. I'm like, this doesn't even. Anyways, I gave it 3 stars. I was loving it and loving it and loving it up until like the middle, and like I said, like something as a turn happened to where I was just like, okay, so where's the resolution, or like where there's no progress. So I was shocked that I ate this one up so good, so quickly. Literally, y'all, in 24 hours, maybe like 27 hours. Ate this up. And then this one is a follow-up to Nina Hill. And Nina Hill was in here. The character, she was in here. I think she's supposed to be this one because she has like reddish hair and stuff and dresses like cute. And I was like, okay, I'm not into it. Yeah, you see how much thicker it is? Yeah, so I just don't think it needed to have as much writing as it did. Okay, and then the next book I read was The Teller of Secrets. This was an audiobook. Oh, this is by BC Ajapon. Or Ajapon. I rated that. I'll put the picture up. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, 4 to 5 stars. And this is an audiobook, pure audiobook, on Spotify. And this book was so good. The narrator, I'm definitely putting her name up on here somewhere. The way she animated the story, it was so funny. So the main girl, this was like a literary fiction, I guess. So the main character's name is Essie, and this story is going on during that colonial era, like when Ghana it's in Ghana, by the way, sorry. So it happens in the 60s, when it's that era when Ghana is untying itself from being a colony of England. So there's like political stuff going on, and yeah, so the main character Essie, she is such it's like a coming of age story for her, the whole book. So you follow her from like age like 10, I'll say, and then by the time it ends, she's like in her 20s, early 20s or something. And she is such a, I guess it's a British word. The only word I could think of is she's cheeky. She's like funny and like feisty. And this is 60s and the 1960s in Ghana. So this is like, like she's fighting against like traditions, like the traditional way that woman's supposed to be. So it's like her brother's only like a year or two younger than her, or older. No, yeah, he's younger than her, a year or two younger than her. But even when they were 10 years old, she has to be the one helping her aunties and mom and stuff like that in the kitchen, or like just doing housework while her brother can go play. Same time of day. And mind you, he's a little bit younger than her, like a year or two younger than her. So she's like already at 10 years old. She's like in her narration, she's like, excuse me, like, why does he get to go play and I have to be in here with auntie cooking or cleaning up the kitchen, So she's like she's basically finding her feminist voice. And it's the way it's told is in such a funny way, but obviously there's serious topics going on. Like there's some like serious stuff that goes on in the book. Obviously for the time period, it's the 60s and post-colonial Ghana, but the character Essie herself, she is funny, and you feel the lightness in the book, even though it's a serious story. So I recommend it. And the next one I read was Better Must Come by Desmond Hall. And y'all, it was like my first official arc. So I do these book tours on Instagram with Coco Chapters. And my friend, one of my book friends, actually, she like helped me sign up to do this. And now like I'm getting arcs in the book, or arc books, advanced reader copies. And this one, I got it on my Kindle, so they sent me the ebook to read, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And y'all, it's already out now, because I reviewed it like 2 weeks ago, or no, I reviewed it last week, and it came out this week on June 4th, so it's available to purchase. So y'all read this book. So this is a YA book, and I didn't know that going in. And like as I'm reading it, I think as I was reading it, I was like looking at something. I saw it say YA. I was like, oh, this is not YA. Like the story is so good. It's about so this one is about, so I'll just read a little bit. The synopsis is long. So it's an action-packed young adult thriller that looks at the darker side of light-filled Jamaica and how a tragedy and missing drug money helplessly entangles the lives of two teenagers who want to change their fate. So Deja is one of the teenagers' main characters. She's a barrel girl. So that means like, and there's a barrel kid is basically you're in Jamaica or even the other Caribbean islands. So your parents, like one or more of your parents, moves to either the U.S. or Canada, and to find work to help send money back to help, help you be comfortable in Jamaica. And the downside is your parents are away, especially a girl and her mom. Like, we need our mommies. So her mom is in New York, and she's like every couple months she'll send a barrel literally full of food, clothes, shoes, like anything her kids would need while they're in Jamaica, living with like a grandmother or an auntie, whatever the case is. I really relate to it. The other teen in this story is Gabriel, and he's a posse boy. So he's basically in a gang, a local gang in Jamaica, but like in this story, but it's not as it seems. So that's all I'm gonna say. This is all from the synopsis. I highly recommend this one, and not just because I got the arc. This story kept me engaged, and y'all know I love anything Jamaican. So, but it's not even that. It's like very nostalgic for me and all that. But the story itself was really good, and you're just rooting for both of the kids throughout the whole book, and it's just sad, like, that they have to even go through that, but it's reality. But yeah, so I recommend Better Must Come. It's already out by the time. And the next book I read in May was So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. Y'all, this book is it. This is it, y'all. This is so good. It's a YA fantasy. There's dragons, there's magic, there's I don't know what else is there. I think that's the main thing. Ooh, this is nice. Look at that dragon. But yeah, so, and it's like a full story. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so good. So this one I tandem read too. I started reading it, but this is like at the end of May. So we're out on our house, an apartment hunt. So I was really busy. So I transitioned to audiobook for like the last like 75% of the book. Cause I just wasn't picking up books. And yeah, so this one, it was so good. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I hope we're getting a part 2 because it left on a cliffhanger. I was like, what happened? Like, what else happened? And yeah, it left on a cliffhanger. So I'm so excited for book 2. I hope a book 2 is coming. Camilla Cole, please. Let's get that going. Okay, so a quick synopsis, because this one is based in the Caribbean, like a fantasy land Caribbean, but like where they live in the book, it's like Jamaica. It's supposed to be Jamaica, but it's obviously called something else. So So it says, there's nothing that Farron won't do for her sister. Period. I can relate. Farron Vincent can channel the power of the gods. 5 years ago, she used her divine magic to liberate her island from its enemies, the dragon-riding Langlish Empire. I think it's supposed to be England. No tea, no shade. But now, at 17, Farron is all powered up with no wars to fight. She's a legend to her people and a nuisance to her neighbors. Okay, so when she's forced to attend an international peace summit, Farron expects that she will perform tricks like a trained pet and then go home. But she doesn't expect her older sister, Alara, forming an unprecedented bond with an enemy dragon, or the gods claiming that the only way to break this bond is to kill her sister. As Farron's desperation to find another solution takes her down a dark path, and Alara discovers the shocking secrets at the heart of the Langlish Empire, each must make difficult choices that will shape the other's lives as well as the fate of their world. That's it. I highly recommend it. Read this book, So Let Them Burn. I recommend both of them. So whichever one you prefer, like, are you audiobook girly or physical book, I recommend either one. So because it's really easy to read, it's a lot of dialogue, and then the audiobook was the audiobook. So whichever one, I recommend both. And then while I was reading that, I was looking at my Goodreads right now. I didn't realize I was reading this at the same time. So this is The Burnout by Sophie Kinsella. So yeah, I think I was reading them both at the same time. But y'all, I'm not gonna say much about this. I didn't really care for it. I was so excited to read it. This has been on my TBR for a long time. And my library, I was like in my library one day, and that's where I got both of these at the same time. I was like, oh, they have The Burnout. And I was bored. And it sucks because it's really easy to read. It's a lot of dialogue and like text messages and stuff like that. But the story itself wasn't holding me. And you know why, guys? It just light bulb moment in my brain. It's an enemies to lover. It's a women's fiction book. It's like dubbed as fiction because I was going in, because I wasn't in a romance mood. I was going into this not realizing that it's a romance. I thought it was like a women's fiction. Like, we're gonna read about the main character, because even from the synopsis, it seemed like the book is gonna mostly be about her dealing with her being burnt out from her toxic job and her coming to, you know what I mean? Like, I thought we were gonna go through the journey with her, but then all of a sudden, like, the guy gets introduced, which is fine, but it's like all about him, and we barely get to deal with what her journey and what she's going through with her job and going on sabbatical and stuff like that. So that is all that I read in the month of May. I had some really good hits, y'all, and I had some misses. And it sucks that I ended with misses. Or with a miss, because I did love So Let Them Burn. So okay, so thank you guys as always for watching. I'm sorry if y'all are tilted or if the fan is too loud. I'm struggling. You guys, behind you and around you, it's just boxes and mess and mess. So y'all know I'm a mess. So hopefully I'm gonna try to put out some videos, like record and schedule some videos to go out for the rest of June, because they're probably all going to be some book chats or recommendations, book recommendations, or even if y'all go in the comments, you can even like put what you want me to put out for the rest of June, because I'm trying to get out one every week this month, because until the end of June, I'm gonna be super busy between packing up this apartment, you know it is, cleaning and all that, cleaning this apartment, getting the other house ready for our move-in, and then unpacking and setting up that house. And I'm so excited to set up my reading room with y'all. Maybe I could do that. That'll be a video in July probably. Y'all can like help me set up my reading room. Anyways, this is I'm long-winded. I'm so sorry, guys. So let me know in the comments if you made it this far in the video. Let me know in the comments what videos you want to see from me this month. Because like I said, they're probably gonna be like on this bed as always until we get to the new house. So thank you for watching. I'm so happy with all what I read in May. I'm excited for the books that I'm gonna read in June. I'll have a summer. I think the next video is gonna be summer. My summer TBR. I'm so excited. So thank you guys. See you in the next one. Bye, y'all.